Hey everybody, it's Dave Grantham from Evolutionary Qigong, and in this video I'm going to review some Yin Yang Symbol training. Anybody that takes my classes, pushing hands, things like that, they know that this is one of my prerequisites. It's a very, very good training tool. A couple of reasons why is obviously what it does is connect the lower part of the body with the upper part of the body so that you become one unit. And the other part of it is the tension between two people when they do push hands. A lot of times people, when they first come in, they're very rigid when they're doing pushing hands. And what this does is it kind of trains a person to listen, to follow, adhere prior to the pushing hands part of it. And it just allows a person to kind of sense how much tension should I really have throughout, okay? So we're going to look at just the yang side right now, vertically. We're going to do it stationary as well as rocking. I have basically two Yin Yang symbols, okay, sitting right here on top of each other, all right? I'm a little old school, so I do things on easels and draw them out and stuff. But anyway, so what you're going to see here is when I'm teaching people primarily the Yin Yang symbol training, what I tell them is the top dantian, the upper dantian is the height of the symbol. The middle dantian, the heart area, is the middle of the symbol. And then the lower dantian area will be the lower part of the symbol. Now this is just for beginnings. As you go along, they can be as big as small, they can be multitudes. It's unlimited how it's done. But just to start, that's where you want to be. The sides basically are going to be the shoulder width, okay? Now here's the key about Tai Chi, about Yin Yang symbol training. My hand never leaves the center of my body, okay? Now if I'm doing two symbols and things like that, it's going to be different. But primarily for this training, the hand never leaves the center line, okay? So in a stationary position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror you. I'm going to use my left hand, but you're going to use your right hand. You're going to place it down at the lower part, the lower dantian, okay? How this works is we're going to circle around the outside once, and then we're going to go to the inside, which kind of looks like a figure eight. It doesn't matter how you do this. You can come around, go into the center, then out. Basically, I choose to go one around the outside. So I get people used to the outside first, and then I go into the inside. And then I just repeat the pattern. Outside, inside, outside, inside. It just seems to work for beginners, okay? The other part of it is this. If you notice the easel here, or this tablet, it's at a slant. We talk about 5, and in white crane training, 6 bows in the body. 2 arms, 2 legs, a spine, and a chest, okay? So what I do is I utilize this angle that this thing is pitched at kind of as a tool to help people with the spine as well as the chest when it comes to opening and closing. And you'll see what I mean here in a moment. So I'm going to take a nice just upright stance. This is our stationary Yang symbol training. Now again, you're going to take your right hand, place it in front at the lower dantian area. We're going to go around the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start turning my body, raising the arm up, and at this point you'll see it's up at about heart level and it's on the outside. Now if I turn my body back, you see it hasn't left the center line. It's the fact that I've turned the body towards that direction, okay? Then I'm going to turn the body back. As I do, I continue to raise the hand up and it reaches the top. So now I'm at the top, okay? Now, in Yang symbol training, the thumb basically leads throughout the symbol. So when I go like this, you can see the thumb is leading. I want to turn the hand over so the thumb can continue to lead. I turn back and then back. And you see, I haven't moved my hand from my center line. I've basically just turned the body. That's how we connect that lower with the upper part, okay? Now, other thing about it, I talked about the angle of this. When I'm here, I'm touching the bottom. I want to continue to touch it throughout. So when I go up, if I just left my hand vertically here, I wouldn't be touching the top of it. So I want to expand outward. So when I go up I'm out. And you see I open my chest and I expand my arm, so my spine is also opening up as I come across, rotating the arm over, and I come back. Now the easel is closer towards me, or the pad is closer towards me, so I have to bring it back, and you can see I arch my back, or flex the spine, if you will. So that allows me to be able to open and close the spine as well as the chest. So again, on the outside, open up, away from the body, and then come back down towards the body. Okay? So that's the outside. We'll do a couple on the outside, then we'll talk about the inside, or the inside of the symbol. Excuse me, not the yin side. That's kind of funny. So just going on the outside, expand out, turn the palm over, rotate the forearm, and come back in. So out, and then back in. Okay, so there you have the outside of the symbol. Now let's go into the center part of that symbol. Going into the center of the symbol, you can see it looks like a figure 8. All of the movements remain the same. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn up and go to the center. So you see I'm now heart level, hands in front of the body, thumb is still leading. Now I want to go to the top, so I turn again and bring the hand up to the top. Okay? So now here's one of the keys of this. I still want to lead with the thumb. So what I'm going to do is from this top part, I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to start to pull it back towards me as I go through the center, the heart area, around and back down. Okay? So again, just the center section. Going out, expanding away from the body. Okay? Then back down, coming back towards the body. Okay, again, out, continue out, and then back towards the body. Now what this does is on this part of that, or this part of it, it allows me to keep that elbow a little bit lower than the wrist and stop this action. I don't want to pinch up my shoulder and my neck. So what I'm doing is I'm utilizing that away and towards the body as a little helper in not doing that pinching of the shoulder, if you will. As time goes on and when you start training with another person and doing it together, what you're going to see is kind of as I did here, I have a red symbolizing the yang side and a blue symbolizing the yin side, because there is a yin within that yang. So what I do is when I get to this top here, and this will be something you practice later, not at this time, you're going to turn the hand over and you're going to see you'll fall back through to the original position. So that's a little piece, precursor for later on advanced. All right? So let's go over a couple of these together. We're going to go outside, inside, outside. So we go outside, growing away from the body, and then back towards the body. Then inside, growing away from the body, and then back through the center and then to the bottom. Okay? So that's a stationary yang symbol, utilizing all of the different bows and things and keeping the hand on the center line with the body, turning the whole thing complete. Let's look at now rocking. Okay? So with rocking, let's place your right leg forward. You're going to be in your Sulubu or 4-6 stance starting, so you're going to be a little bit aft, if you will, more weight aft, less weight front. Okay? And again, you're going to do the same thing, out, in. Now there's a little bit differences with the rocking, and I'm going to explain that as we go along. So the first piece is the outside. What we're going to do is we're going to expand out, shifting our weight forward, rocking forward, if you will, and going to the up position. Okay? Then we're going to come back, and again, the hand comes back with it. All right? So on the outside, it's rock forward, grow, rock back to the back lower position. That's your outside circle. So let's do that a couple times, going out and back, and out and back. Okay, so something you should notice here is when I go to that direction, for you it's to your right, okay, my hips can only go so far. They're only designed to go so far. Okay, now some people may have a little more mobility, some others not, but from there my thoracic area, the area between my shoulder blades, takes over to get me to this position here. Okay, so if you look at our model spine here, I got this from Dr. John Murray from Murray Chiropractic, good friend of mine, also trains with me. I'm going to show you that your hips are only going to go so far. The lumbar section of your spine has these physical areas, facets and whatnot, that are going to stop the rotation of the lumbar section. However, they're not as physically pronounced, and you'll notice this area here, known as the thoracic area, kind of looks like shingles, if you will, on a roof, allows more rotational aspect physically in that area. So when I'm doing this in a rocking position, I'm going to expand out, and when I turn, you see it's the thoracic area now that takes over to get it over to the side and come back. And I'm still using my bows of the spine and also the chest as I do this. So here I'm closed, if you will, and then I open up, and then I come back closed. All right, now let's go to the center section. The center section, we remain in the aft position. Okay, so all we're doing is allowing the hand to expand away from the body, back towards the body, and here's that thoracic area again, if you notice, back down. So expanding out, up over the top, and then back. Okay, so let's put that together. So I rock forward, I rock back. I go up through the center, over the top, back down through the center to the bottom. Again, rock forward, rock back. And then through the center, back, and then down. Now the other hand, you notice I've been placing it here. It can be placed at the lower dantian, it can be placed at the chest area, which helps with opening and closing the chest. It can be placed out to the side as well too. As time goes on, you'll start placing it here so that when you're doing two-person, you can actually utilize it for the change or exchange when you're stepping forward and back. Okay? So that's just some Yin Yang symbol training, yang side, vertical, stationary, as well as rocking. Hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come.